Captain Vex pressed his scaled hand against the transparent viewport on the command deck, eyes fixed on the distant enemy fleet, which grew ever larger as the hours slipped by. The Galactic Council's defensive armada drifted in space like shattered playthings, their exteriors scorched from 3 relentless days of warfare. Trails of smoke curled from damaged craft, and distress signals blinked frantically across multiple channels. How many vessels remain? Vex asked his communications officer, though deep down he already knew the answer would offer no relief. Lieutenant Kai tapped shakily on his tactical monitor. 47 ships still functional, sir, down from 200 when the siege began. The Dra Empire had attacked without forewarning. Their obsidian-colored warships had burst from hyperspace like a swarm of predators. Their technology eclipsed anything the Council had, and their brutal precision had obliterated every line of defense within hours. Now the final fragments of the galaxy's once proud military forces clung to the last shielded refuge. Outpost 7, a lonely station on the galaxy's fringe. Commander Ellis of the human delegation stood silently beside the captain's seat. Her lined expression betrayed no emotion, despite the gravity of their situation. Humanity was still a relatively recent addition to the Interstellar Alliance, having only joined 5 years earlier. Many species viewed them as underdeveloped fighters from an insignificant planet, fit for physical labor or frontline combat and little else. Any communication from the Council's backup fleets? Vex asked, though his voice lacked conviction. Kai shook his head. The Dra have severed all major hyperspace lanes. Even if reinforcements exist, they won't reach us in time. Through the viewport, the enemy armada shifted into an offensive formation. Colossal dreadnoughts glided forward with predatory precision, weapon systems pulsing with deadly energy. The Dra weren't interested in diplomacy or capitulation. They sought nothing less than complete destruction. Sir, Kai's voice cracked. They're charging their weapons. Final assault is imminent. Vex shut his eyes, the immense burden of billions of lives pressing down on him. If this fleet fell, nothing would remain to stop the Dra from conquering the rest of Council territory, enslaving or eradicating every civilization in their path. Suddenly, proximity alarms blared across the bridge. "Captain!" Kai called out, his tone more bewildered than frightened. Multiple hyperspace entries detected, massive signatures coming from Sector 7. The viewport flared with bursts of radiant light as dozens of ships emerged from hyperspace. But these were not the smooth, refined designs of Council engineering. The newcomers were angular, aggressive, plated in thick armor and bristling with weaponry. They moved with machine-like discipline, assembling into combat lines with practiced ease. "Who are they?" Vex demanded, studying the unfamiliar fleet's layout. Commander Ellis stepped forward, a fierce grin spreading across her face. "Those are human warships, Captain. Judging by the pattern, it's Earth's 3rd fleet." "Impossible," Vex objected. "Humans lack the firepower for engagements on this scale." But more ships continued to arrive, destroyers, cruisers, and gargantuan carriers, some even larger than the Council's most powerful vessels. Their designs emphasized utility over elegance, every surface engineered for either defense or offense. Each ship bore unique markings, flags and emblems of various Earth nations, now united under a single command. At the forefront was a massive flagship, bristling with missile bays and rail cannons. A voice transmitted across all frequencies, calm, authoritative, with the unmistakable cadence of Earth's military leadership. "This is Admiral Blake of the Earth Defense Force," the voice announced. "All Council ships, hold your current positions and prepare to assist in coordinated operations. Dra Fleet, you have 30 seconds to initiate retreat before we engage." Vex watched in astonishment as the human fleet expanded, their numbers already outmatching the remnants of his own. How did they arrive so fast? The hyperspace corridors were compromised. Ellis let out a grim chuckle. "Humans don't use the standard routes, Captain. We carve our own paths through spacetime. It's rough, risky, but it gets us where we need to go, especially when others can't." The Dra Armada hesitated, visibly shaken by this unexpected twist. Their leaders had likely believed humanity would be easy to wipe out, a crude species with primitive capabilities. That mistake would cost them everything. Admiral Blake's voice echoed once more. 30 seconds expired. All units, open fire. Prioritize enemy capital ships. Show them why Earth never retreats. The human armada unleashed its firepower with ruthless precision. Unlike the energy beams or plasma cannons favored by most advanced species, their arsenal relied on high-velocity solid munitions, delivering raw kinetic force with devastating results. Coordinated missile barrages tore through the void, overwhelming the Dra fleet's point defense systems through sheer volume alone. The first Dra dreadnought was obliterated in a flame and shrapnel, its colossal frame ripped apart under a relentless onslaught from rail cannons. Its escort ships suffered a similar fate as human destroyers charged in, trading protective shielding for lethal impact, attacking with bold ferocity. Incredible, Vex murmured, watching the battlefield tilt dramatically in humanity's favor. Their methods are so unflinching. Ellis gave a proud nod. Humans have been waging war for millennia, Captain. We learned long ago that sometimes the most effective tactic is overwhelming firepower delivered with pinpoint accuracy, right where it hurts the most. The Dra formation crumbled as more of their vessels fell victim to the Earth fleet's brute force. Their advanced defenses, which had withstood Council-grade weaponry, proved futile against solid slugs traveling at fractions of light speed. Human fighter craft surged through the gaps, their pilots performing maneuvers so aggressive they would have sent most Council tacticians into fits of panic. Within 2 hours, the once imposing Dra Armada was reduced to a scattering of retreating survivors, limping toward hyperspace with Earth's pursuit ships nipping at their heels. What had seemed like an unstoppable menace only hours earlier had shattered against the relentless resolve of Earth's military. As the final enemy vessel slipped into hyperspace, Admiral Blake's face appeared on the main screen. She was notably younger than Ellis, her steel-gray eyes and cropped hair exuding sharp discipline. "This is Admiral Blake of the Earth Defense Force," she announced. "The immediate danger has been eliminated. We'll remain on station and continue patrol duties until reinforcements from the Council arrive." Captain Vex found his voice after a long moment of stunned silence. "Admiral, on behalf of the Galactic Council, thank you. But I must ask, how did Earth assemble such a formidable fleet so swiftly?" Blake gave a confident smile, the kind worn by those who had faced the impossible before. "Captain, when humanity joined the Council, we were told to hope for the best, but prepare for the worst. We took that seriously. The Third Fleet was already engaged in field exercises when your emergency signal reached Earth Command." She paused, her expression hardening slightly. "And we have a saying back on Earth, no one fights alone. When our allies call, we answer. That's what it means to be human." As the Earth fleet settled into protective positions around the battered remains of the Council forces, Vex came to a quiet realization. The galaxy had misjudged these new arrivals from Earth. They may have lacked the polished technology or ancient traditions of older starfaring races, but they possessed something just as vital: an unshakable resolve to stand by their allies, no matter the cost. The Dra Empire would not forget this day, and from now on, they would learn to fear the sound of human warships emerging from hyperspace.